This episode of The Young Turks brought to you by Jack Threads for the win.
Generally, I've got a lot of issues with Rand Paul, Mike Lee. Rand Paul, of course, senator from Kentucky, and Mike Lee, new senator from Utah. He's a Tea Partier. There's a lot we disagree with ideologically, but apparently we have found something that we do agree on. Let's go to clip number 2.
The president signed an executive order calling for indefinite detention of people at Guantanamo Bay. Stated differently, even if they're tried and found not guilty, he wants to hold them there for as long as he wants to hold them there, something that he spoke out against when he was Senator Obama. Would the Senate be willing to go along with that?
The interesting thing is, I spoke to a mother the other day of somebody who lost someone at 9/11 in one of the Twin Towers attacks, and she said to me she wants justice. And so the thing is justice should be a trial and do something with the people who are responsible for this. So indefinite detention I don't think is a good idea. Let's go ahead and have trials and let's have justice.
Last question, Senator Lee. I know in your youth you clerked for a justice of the Supreme Court of the United States. Do you think the Supreme Court would ever go for something that no Western government has ever claimed, the power to detain, to incarcerate after acquittal? After a jury finds them not guilty, they still go back to jail? What's the sense of having a trial?
Yeah, well, it certainly seems very unlikely given tea leaves that we've been given in the last few years, and particularly in light of the scenario that you painted just a minute ago in your question to Senator Paul, where you have someone who's been tried and found not guilty. Ongoing detention after that seems especially problematic.
I totally agree with Senator Lee and Senator Rand, and God bless their hearts for saying that. Look, again, for the millionth time, I don't care if it's a conservative making it, liberal, Republican, or Democrat. As long as they're making the right point, I'm on their side. I mean, we're supposed to be the United States of America. Indefinite detention, holding people, even if they're found not guilty, that's absurd. By the way, Barack Obama has restarted the military commissions in Guantanamo. He says, oh, no, it was the Republicans who made me do it. Of course, remember, he had a campaign pledge to close Guantanamo Bay within a year. He's partly right. He actually tried to close it down, and the Republicans and a lot of coward Democrats defeated it in Congress. And now, I don't blame him for trying the first time around. The idiots in Washington said, oh, that was a loss for Obama. That was a loss for our country. When the morons of this world won, they said, oh my God, if you try people here in the United States, they might come home for your family picnic. No, we try them, and then we put them in maximum security prisons. We're supposed to bring them to justice. Look at me. I agree with Napolitano, Lee, and Rand on that. Every reasonable American conservative or liberal should agree with that. Instead, we had the great majority of our cowardly, propagandist, clownish congressmen and senators disagreeing, saying they were too scared of Al-Qaeda to try them here in the United States, as we've done for centuries when we try the bad guys here, people who committed crimes against us here. Now, of course, what I do blame Obama for is, after that first attempt failed, what did he do? As usual, he gave up. It was too hard. Washington Press Corps gave him a loss on that, and he didn't like it. The Republicans were mean to him. So now he's keeping Guantanamo open. Eric Holder had a comical comment the other day where he said, no, we plan to close it, maybe in the second term. I don't know if you know this, but you're not really guaranteed a second term. You're supposed to be president for these 4 years and give it your best shot. In other words, they're not going to close Guantanamo, and here they are doing military commissions, very similar to what Bush did. They say they tweaked it a little bit. Oh, are you not merciful? And so when Don Rumsfeld goes on TV and brags about how they got Obama to do exactly what they were doing, he's right. Look, President Obama, you've even got some Tea Party people, some Republicans, some libertarians on your side. You want to try? You want to try closing it down again? You want to do it the right way? No, he doesn't. In the parlance of Washington, he doesn't want to burn up political capital for that. By the way, they got people sitting in there for how many years now? 10 years now. And some of them were turned in for a $5,000 ransom. You know, some warlord in Afghanistan didn't like them. He slept with their cousin, or whatever he did, right? And they said, oh, yeah, he's Al-Qaeda. Oh, he's Taliban. We never tried some of those guys, and they're sitting in Guantanamo. Now, some of them are massively guilty. Let's bring them to justice. Either way. It's so frustrating, man. But it's good to see at least some people on the right rallying to the right cause. being ideologically consistent, it's a breath of fresh air.
Jack Threads is a new sponsor for TYT. They're a members-only online shopping club, but because you know us, you're going to get in. Aren't we cool? But here's a key part to it, 80% off. Hello, up to 80% off of some of the top apparel lines in the country. Game over.
Right.
So go to jackthreads.com/TYT because it's free to join, and you get all those discounts, and you avoid the pain in the ass. The ending of this commercial is a little schwang wang wang.